Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you, Minister Stanowski, and welcome. As a 12-year-old, when the beginnings of solidarity happened in Poland, it really inspired my view of politics and probably my belief in democracy, that some country that could stand up against such a mighty machine as the Soviet Union was. So obviously your country has a lot of experience and a lot to contribute to this area. My fear that this is, though, is this just a vanity project? We've heard that there are existing mechanisms in place, and the cost of this, is this really necessary? And how are we to judge this at the end of your presidency? Will we have any ways of judging its success? The cost, I have trouble with cost at the moment that we're having austerity across Europe. And what about the credibility? Two levels there is that I went to Tunisia as part of the ad hoc delegation earlier this year, and across what's known as the Arab Spring, the people took to the streets and rightfully, in my opinion, demonstrated against the regimes because their politicians in their countries weren't listening to their views. And yet we have that here in the European Union. We've had that here in Athens only this week, that the politicians not listening to the people who want to default. And yet that's okay because they're troublemakers when it happens into the European Union, but when it happens in other countries, they're freedom fighters. Don't we need a consistent line on this? I mean, and the other part of the consistency and also the credibility is, how can we act as one? Because we don't act as one. If you just seen when the Tunisian situation happened, the French delay. You've also seen over Libya, the airstrikes, where you have French and British forces taking part, where you have the UN opposing that action in the United Nations. So how can we have one voice in this? It just goes to the fact that, the sentiments may be good, but the practice is just a complete waste of money, another vanity project.